Man United agree on Sancho deal. Arsenal bid for Italy star Locatelli. Spurs have a new manager. Messi is a free agent, and a transfer roundup all coming up on today's OneFootball Daily News. As I'm your host, Angelina Kelly, let's get into it. First up, and yesterday, numerous news outlets confirmed that Manchester United have agreed in principle a deal with Borussia Dortmund for Jadon Sancho. Finally, there is light at the end of this very long transfer tunnel. So according to journalist Fabrizio Romano, the deal will be until 2026 with the option to extend until 2027. The price is around 90 million euros with add-ons. Personal terms have been agreed, and basically all they're waiting on now is the medical. And this transfer is actually good news for Manchester City, as they are set to get about 30 million euros from the deal, as of course Sancho was with Manchester City before he made the move to Dortmund. Of course, many Manchester United fans will be happy at this news that finally it seems like this deal is actually going to get done. There are others that are a little bit sceptical, especially considering that perhaps Manchester United should be investing in other areas of the pitch, a centre-back for example, or another midfielder. But their interest in Sancho has been going on for over a year now. He is such a brilliant creative player, and it's understandable why United have been so focused on him. And of course, some Man United fans will be concerned about what this means for Jesse Lingard, for example. We could potentially see him make the move to West Ham, but more importantly, what's going to happen with Mason Greenwood? The 19-year-old has been preferred by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on the right wing, so where will he play now? At the end of the day, Jadon Sancho is a very versatile player, and Greenwood is as well. Before he joined Manchester United's first team, he played primarily as a centre-forward. So if anything, this transfer just gives him the possibility of working on his skills more in that role on the pitch. He'll be alongside the likes of Anthony Martial and Edinson Cavani. I think that he'll still get a lot of game time in that position. And speaking of Edinson Cavani, he of course wears the number 7 shirt for Manchester United. Sancho has reportedly requested that he wear the shirt number, so it will be interesting to see if Cavani does give it up and if we will actually see Sancho in that shirt. So according to The Guardian, with the Sancho deal pretty much done and dusted, it seems like Solskjaer is focusing his attention on signing more players. So of course they are in need of a defensive midfielder. They've been linked with Declan Rice, a centre-back in Pau Torres, then there's a striker, of course. They have reportedly been looking at Harry Kane, and this isn't even thinking about the players that they've been rumoured with. Of course, a Cristiano Ronaldo return to Old Trafford. They're also reportedly interested in Leon Goretzka from Bayern Munich and Kieran Trippier from Atletico Madrid. The only concern is there is no way that Manchester United could afford all of these players, and who's to say that all of these players would actually want to make the move to the club? Of course, due to COVID-19, so many clubs are tightening the purse strings, and I'm just not too sure how many of these players are actually realistic for Manchester United. So for now, I think United fans should be happy with the potential Jadon Sancho signing. I'm not too sure if I could see a player like Harry Kane or Declan Rice arrive at the club, especially with the interest that they have got from other clubs as well. Maybe Manchester United can get one more big signing, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Our next story is all about Manuel Locatelli. The Italy midfielder has been phenomenal for his nation at Euro 2020, especially when filling in when Marco Verratti has been injured. So we've mentioned on the Daily News before that Juventus are interested in signing the Sassuolo player, but apparently there is another club that's interested and are actually leading the race for the player, and it's Arsenal. Sassuolo's director Giovanni Canavelli has stated that Arsenal are the only club so far to make an important proposal for the player. He does expect to still hold more talks with Juventus, as like I say, they are very interested in the player, but this transfer is nowhere near done, as there are also reports that Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid could also be in the race for Locatelli. The 23-year-old's form for Sassuolo in the last Serie A season, paired with his form at Euro 2020, helping his team get to the quarterfinals and potentially beyond, who knows. You can understand why there are so many clubs interested in the player. Now, Sassuolo have reportedly said that they will not take anything less than 50 million euros for the player, and for Arsenal he could be a great fit, as of course Granit Xhaka has been rumoured with a link away from the Emirates, and he could be a great replacement. However, it doesn't look like this transfer will be done anytime soon. Sassuolo's director has stated that he's not spoken to the player or his representatives just yet. They want to focus on Italy and how they do in Euro 2020, as of course on Friday they face Belgium in the quarterfinals in what will be an absolutely massive game. So I think we're going to have to wait until after Euro 2020 to actually see what happens with Locatelli and which club he signs for. But if you want more Euro 2020 content, make sure that you check out not only the OneFootball app but the Volkswagen OneHub as well. And if you're watching on YouTube, the links are directly beneath this video. Next up, and finally, Tottenham Hotspur have a new manager in Nuno Espirito Santo. He has signed a 2-year deal with the North London club as he replaces Jose Mourinho as manager. So Spurs' new managing director of football, Fabio Paratici, has been leading this hunt for a new manager, and they seem to have spoken to so many candidates from the likes of Mauricio Pochettino, Antonio Conte, Paulo Fonseca, etc. So many different names. Now, Nuno was apparently not one of the candidates they were considering when he did announce that he was departing from Wolves. However, in the last week, he has been leading the race, and of course, this is the man that they've gone for. Nuno himself has stated that he is happy to be at Spurs, and chairman Daniel Levy has stated that he wants the club to get back to their core DNA of playing attacking, exciting football. So of course, the majority of Nuno's time at Wolves was pretty good as he brought them up into the Premier League. They finished back-to-back seasons in 7th. Of course, the last season they did finish in 13th, but on the whole, getting Wolves to Europa League football was an amazing achievement. And looking at Spurs and the quality of the squad that they do actually have, surely if he can take Wolves to those heights, then he can take Spurs to even further heights. But the question will be, will they have Harry Kane? Of course, Harry Kane's future at the club is reportedly top of their priority list. If he stays, then great. If he departs, they could be looking at a bit of a rebuild. But Kane aside, I think it will be really interesting to see how Nuno does at the club. Yes, at times with Wolves, you can argue that he was quite pragmatic, but there were other times when you did see him adapt his team as they really went in for the kill with the opposition. Now, he normally did play a 3-5-2 with Wolves. It's uncertain as to whether he's going to go with that for Spurs, but we could actually see him also getting the best out of Matt Doherty, who of course was at Wolves before he made the move to Spurs. Whilst I'm sure Spurs fans have been very frustrated that this process has been so long, hopefully they've got the right man, and hopefully he can get off to a really good start at the beginning of the season and bring back this attacking football that Levy has spoken about. And let's hope that this season is better than the last for Spurs and that it works with Nuno. And finally, it's the day that all Barcelona fans have been dreading, the news that they do not want to hear. Technically, as today is the 1st of July, Lionel Messi's contract expired on the 30th of June, and he is now actually no longer a Barcelona player. It's been 7,504 days since he signed his first contract for the club on that napkin, but now he's actually a free agent. So what does this mean? Does this mean that he's not going to sign for Barcelona? Of course not. I still do believe that he will be signing for the club. Their president, Joan Laporta, reportedly did want to get the deal done and dusted before June 30th, but unfortunately the stars did not align for that, and there are still ongoing negotiations. So according to Marca, allegedly some of the financial issues that Barcelona have been having are the reason that this deal has not been sorted out yet. But Laporta is confident that they will get to the finish line with it. He does have a good relationship allegedly with Lionel Messi's dad, so they reckon that they can iron out some of the finer issues in this contract. It hasn't actually been established yet when they will actually be signing on the dotted line, but they're hoping it will be in the coming days or weeks. It's safe to say that I think Lionel Messi will be a Barcelona player. It doesn't seem like any other clubs are interested in trying to sign him or taking him away from Barcelona, but the main issue that the club will have now is registering him as a new player. So should Barcelona re-sign the player, they will have to register him as a new player for the club, and in order to keep into the framework of La Liga's financial rulings, they will have to lower some of the wages at the club in order to re-sign Lionel Messi. However, it's expected that all of this will be sorted out sooner rather than later. Meanwhile, for Lionel Messi, he is focusing on his work with Argentina at Copa America as they of course face Ecuador in the quarterfinals. So I think Barcelona fans unfortunately will have to wait a little bit longer until the official announcement is made. And last but by no means least, we have our transfer roundup. This is where I take a look at some of the other news and transfers going on in the footballing world. And first up, according to L'Equipe, Kylian Mbappe has told numerous individuals at PSG that he is not willing to sign a contract extension as things stand, but he is happy to see out the remainder of his contract, which of course expires in 2022. Manchester City are reportedly willing to sit down with Raheem Sterling and discuss his future at the club, as he only has 2 years left on his current deal. Meanwhile, RB Leipzig have reportedly stated that they will let Marcel Sabitzer leave the club in a cut price deal, with the likes of Arsenal, AC Milan and Roma all interested in the player. And finally, Matt did mention it on yesterday's Daily, but it is now official that Rafa Benitez is Everton's new manager, and he will be there on a 3-year deal. So that's everything for today's OneFootball Daily News. As always, check out all the other content that we've got here, and until next time, I will see you all later.